Alright, so this morning we are going to install the bull bar. The one I got is off eBay. There were a couple different brands I saw for sale. Um, but I'm assuming they all have very similar hardware, so we're just going to call this a general bull bar installation on an '09 Plus Ram. It came with these instructions here. Uh, there are slightly different steps for models with or without tow hooks. Mine does not have tow hooks, as you can see. But again, the differences are so minor. It's just a matter of what you have to remove in order to mount the mounting brackets. So, anyways, first step is first. Well, first step is first. We got a pet Mopar here. Oh boy, you gonna be my helper? You gonna be my helper? Yeah, it's a good boy. Okay, so first step is first. We have to remove the splash guard. So for that, simple. Just bring one of these. Actually, the way the pins look, it looked like I might also want a pair of pliers, just in case the pins don't pop up with ease. You gonna stay here, buddy? Gotta chill, okay? So, to remove the splash guard, hopefully the angle's good on the camera, you just remove these pins here. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've already removed 2. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 of them. They're kind of annoying, and if you're not accustomed to dealing with them, I'm going to show you real quick how to take them out. I'm just going to do one here and skip to the next portion. But anyway, so what I'm doing is, the instructions recommend a flathead screwdriver, and you just pry up underneath it. They're kind of stiff. So what I'm taking is these regular pair of needle nose pliers. You kind of grab the head and just get it started up. You see how there's a little bit more space there now? Then I get a little bit more of my pliers underneath, wiggle back and forth as I push upward on it. What I end up doing is, okay, well, this one came all the way out, which is perfect. For the other two that I've done, the push pin part actually came out of the bottom half, which is not a big deal. When you put these back in, what you'll do is you'll take this bottom half, you'll push it through the hole, or halfway through the hole like that, kind of, and then while it's sitting there, you insert the pin part back into the hole, and it'll all kind of snap into place. So that's how you do those. I'm gonna get the rest of these done, and I'll pick up from there. Okay, so we've gotten the push pins out. You can see it comes down a little bit. If you move around here, so right now we're facing the same direction as the front of the truck. So right now we're pointing the same direction as our headlights are facing, just to give you a reference point. So I'm moving over here to the driver's side, and you can see on the end here, I don't know how good of an angle I can get, but there's a 10 millimeter bolt that holds the end on. There's one on this side and there's one on the other side. So I have my 10 millimeter socket on there already. I'm just going to loosen that, and then there's one on that end I'm going to loosen as well, and then the splash guard will be free. Alright, now that we've got the splash guard off, I came over here and started reading the next step, and I forgot to show you what I like to do before I start any project, really, is sort the hardware. To see if I've got enough before I start. I hate getting through a project and then realizing I don't have all the hardware. Typically happens to me with IKEA furniture, but I like to do it with anything I'm building or adding on to one of my cars. Alright, so first step, once you get the splash guard off, it says select one of the upper frame brackets, which are these things. Those are identical, which is why it just says select one of them. So I'm going to take this one, and then it says, and the driver's side lower frame mounting bracket, which is this one. And you can tell these are different because this piece here is offset from the center. So the one, whichever side it belongs to, that's the side that this is offset more towards. So this is the driver's side because it's offset towards the right. This is the passenger side one because when you hold it like this, it's offset more to the left, passenger side. So we need these two things here. And you can see that because in the picture here, it shows the driver's side offset to the right. So we know we've got the right parts there. It says bolt the two together with two 12mm flat washers, two 12mm lock washers, boom, and two 12mm hex bolts, which are these guys. Okay, so I'm a genius. I don't need these bolts yet because these obviously have studs. So it says assemble the two pieces. So I mean, one can assume that this is how they're going to bolt together, obviously, because there's nothing else to bolt them to. So it says use the nuts, lock washers, and washers. So, man, don't shoot me if I'm wrong here, but I believe it goes washer, lock washer, nut. Just like that. If I'm wrong, I guess it'll fall off and I'll figure it out the hard way, but for now, that's what I'm going with. Washer, lock washer, nut. And I haven't read this far ahead, but I'm sure it says don't tighten, just assemble loosely, hand tighten, whatever. Because when you install the bumper bar to the bracket, you're going to want everything to have a little bit of play in it so that you can get everything to fit properly. Okay, so that's assembled. It says on some vehicles it may be easier to assemble the two-piece bracket on the vehicle, but I don't care. We're going to do it this way. Snug the hardware but do not tighten. There it is. Okay, remove the hex nuts on the two lower factory bumper bolts. I'm going to get under there now and get a shot of that for you. Okay, so it says remove the two factory hex nuts from the factory bumper mounting locations, and those are these two. So I'm going to, I guess I'm going to have to go get a deep socket and figure out what size these are and remove those. And just to give you a reference point, this is the driver's side. That's the passenger side. So looking up from the ground, here's the ground. You look up, boom, these two right here. Alright, so I went and got my deep socket, and it turns out those two factory bumper hex nuts are 18s. So I've got my 18 deep socket here, and that's it. Okay. I was looking for my GoPro camera, and it's already on my damn head. So, undo these two. Oh, thank God. Since it's a newer truck, it's not... Actually, that was extremely easy. It's not fused together yet. My other car is a 2000 Jeep Cherokee, which I've installed a 6.5-inch long arm lift on and all that. So, from front to rear, I've removed all the hardware, and it is anything but cooperative. So this is this is a welcome change. So anyway, so I'm gonna take these two hex nuts off. I hope that camera's pointed correctly. It's hard to see while it's on my head. So those are off. Okay. Gonna come under here, grab the instructions again. Remove the hex nuts on the two lower factory bumper bolts. Boom, got it. Insert the assembled mounting bracket up from behind the bumper and align the holes in the mounting bracket with the bumper bolts. Attach the bracket onto the bumper bolts using the factory hex nuts and blah, blah, blah. Tighten this hardware only. So, here's my assembled thingamajig. It's going to be pretty self-explanatory how this goes on. Look at that dashing young man. Let me angle the camera down a bit more. Okay, that should be a better angle for you guys. Alright. So, since we know this is the driver's side, and we know the bumper bar the bull bar is going to stick out towards the front of the vehicle, one can only assume that this is the way it needs to face. Okay, if we put it here, well, if we put it here, it doesn't fit, so there we go. So we're going to put those two things on there. Put the factory hardware back on. I've got some anti-seize grease that I like to put on stuff if I have to disassemble and then reassemble, but this is so new, I don't know, I don't feel like it's completely necessary right now. Oh, and just for reference, I tested these are the same size as the factory bolts, so these are also 18s. These the aftermarket hardware is the same size as these. Since this can't really, well, that does have some side-to-side play, so we're actually going to leave that loose for now too, and wait and see if everything lines up properly before I crank down on it. So that's installed there. Repeat step 3 for the passenger side. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to assemble this. Angle this down for you again so you can see better. Assemble this. So we need, what was it? A washer, lock washer, and nut. So get that one assembled. Okay. Loosen the passenger side. Adjust the camera for you guys again. Oh, Christ, alright. Come over here, grab our passenger side bracket, pop it on there, tighten these hand tight. I've got play. Okay. So my neighbor happened to be home, actually. Thank goodness, because we need him. What's up, man? Who's that? Good boy. Oh, I know, it's Nate. It's Nathan. I need help with this bull bar. I can't get it lined up on my own. What's that? I know. That's exciting. Real quick. Nate's ahead of the camera. I'm making a how-to.
Okay, so what up, yo? What up?
Oh, God. Alright, so I just need... I don't know. Here, hand me the bull bar real quick. I just have to get it lined up into these brackets. Yeah, it's not too bad. So it has to go in these brackets. Maybe you could thread the bolts in for me.
Which?
Alright, let go. Yeah. perfect. Alright, so the next step is to support these brackets. It says without tow hooks, this is the driver's side one. So this is how it's going to sit under the truck. Excuse me. That's going to be how it sits under the truck. If you have tow hooks, it would be opposite. If you have tow hooks, this would be the driver's side one. And this lip would face this way. But since we don't, this is the passenger side. This is the driver's side. Okay. So, attaching the supporting bracket thingy. Oops. So, this is how that's going to line up. Will you hand me the, oh.
Huh?
Actually, yeah, I can reach it. Washer, nut, lock washer. Well, not nut, other thing. Okay. Oops. Son of a bitch. Will you hand me one more of those washers?
Yeah.
Thanks. Oops. Washer. Lock washer. Nut. Oh man, these are gonna be a different size. Damn it. Oh, that's horse shit. Can you grab me a 15? I think. So the fine thread hex bolt in here, this is the fine. This one goes in the bottom of the frame. This one,
15?
I think, is a 15. Oh man, try the 16. Thanks. Yeah, it's a 16. Can you get me my crescent wrench out of the toolbox? Please. And these little dudes on the side, the 10mm ones, these are 16s. The bigger circumference, yeah, this is it. Okay. Oops. Should probably put the supporting bracket first.
And there's an extra washer here.
Huh?
You said there's an extra washer here.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that in a minute. Whoops. Okay. I think the torque specs on this were Guten tight, so we're good there. Alright, so that's all tightened up. Alright, so now while I'm under here, I am just gonna triple check that everything's nice and tight. Alright, so what I'm gonna use to cut this is it's a standard angle grinder. So I made some very crude markings because I don't care that much. So if you want to be more precise, by all means do it. And it said to take the bull bar off, do these, and then put it back on after you attach this, but I'm just gonna cut the whole thing because it's annoying to have to do that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try something first. So
we'll see. You wear eye protection too, by the way, which I don't have on. Okay. Alright, try that now. If this doesn't fit, then I quit.
My whole line's up.
I'm pretty sure mine does too. I just need to get it in. Yeah, is that it?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so splash guard's back on. And this is the final product. Finished product, whatever. Final, finished. I like it. Looks good, nice and aggressive. It's not a functional, like a steel bumper. I mean, it's not really going to add any extra protection at all. So don't buy it if that's what you're looking for. But it's just an aesthetic upgrade. Nice and even. Looks good. All right, thanks for watching. I hope it helped. Sorry for my ramblings, but it's just how I do things. All right, take care.